Yeah, hi there. These comments are for, I'm going to just use the first letter of your username at my VoxyPop discussion group, L. And you just completed another practice test, so it looks like you're working on an independent speaking practice test number 4. It says, if you were to move to another city, what city would you choose? You chose Los Angeles. You talked about the public transportation and the job opportunities. You also gave some examples to help support both of those points, which is good, right? So I think you have, I think on this one, if I look at the rubrics, let me see how you might score here. I'm going to put you at 2.66 out of 4 or 20 points out of 30 on this one. So, but I'm not sure how much of the delivery problems are your pronunciation, or is it because of the recording that you did. But whatever the case, I had trouble understanding you. So I'm more likely to score you lower than higher. So if I'm not sure, I'm always going to go lower in terms of your practice test, because I'd rather give you a lower score now and then you do much better when you take the test to just prepare you, right? Topic development, you lost me a little bit in the speech. I had a little bit of difficulty seeing when you were transitioning from the public transportation to the job opportunities, which is another reason why you would like to move to Los Angeles if you had to move, right? So think of a transition sentence like this. So if you start out your speech, you just said, I'd like to move to Los Angeles for 2 reasons, but what if you did something like this and say, because of the public transportation and the ample job opportunities, if I had to move to a new city, I would move to Los Angeles, right? Something like that. That's your topic statement. You just said because of 2 reasons or for 2 reasons. To me, you're doing the same thing that thousands of other TOEFL students do. That's how they all begin their TOEFL speaking task. You're not really setting your speech apart from anybody else by using that kind of predictable grammar. So you want to do more than that. Do something different that other people are not doing. So what am I trying to say here? I'm saying be careful that it doesn't sound like you're following a template, that you've memorized a certain way to do all of your speaking tasks. You want to look like you can use spontaneous English, spontaneous vocabulary, spontaneous grammar, that whatever the question is, you can adjust your language and your speech according to whatever the purpose is of the speaking. See, a lot of my students, they say, well, Michael, I just want to memorize. Give me a certain outline of what I can use to begin all of the speaking tasks. And I don't like to do that. I like my students to be free thinkers, not just memorizers. You see what I'm saying? Now, here's my next point. So if you get to the first part of your speech, say, first of all, I would like to move to Los Angeles because of its public transportation system, right? Then you give some examples to support that. It's better to just give one example as opposed to giving too many examples, because if you give the one example, then try to find some good vocabulary and some good things to help explain that idea. Now, here's a transition. So something like this: in addition to the public transportation, Los Angeles also has ample job opportunities, which is another reason why I'd like to move to Los Angeles. Did you get that grammar? You might want to play the video one more time to get that, but that was a transition sentence. I think you could do better in the middle of the speech when you're transitioning from the first point to the second point. You want to make it very easy for me and for the IBT human raters to understand what you're doing in the speech and how one part of the speech connects to other parts of the speech. You see what I'm saying there? So again here, your score would be I think I said I'd give you right around here, let me go back to the rubrics really fast here. Hold on a minute. Yeah, 2.66 out of 4 or 20 points out of 30, right? So to get better here, I would recommend take a look at, I think, speaking lesson number 2. And I think in that lesson I'll show you different kinds of grammar structures that you can use to begin your speech. So really take a look at that lesson, and then I want you to come back on the next practice test with a much better organization. But I want you to make sure that you speak very clearly and you record a very clear response to the question, because you want to give me a chance also to evaluate your pronunciation, right? So just make sure you make a good recording there.